Welcome to Henderson Library's tutorial on creating company lists in Mergent Intellect. To get started, we're going to go to www.hendersonlibraries.com, hit enter. When you do that, you're going to be taken to the home page of Henderson Library's website. From here, we're going to go in the upper left-hand corner to Explore. Click on that. Hover over Digital Library and then go over and click on Digital Resources. From here, you're going to click on M. In the M section, you want to look for Mergent Intellect and click on Mergent Intellect. At this point, if you are working remotely from your home office, coffee shop, a screen is going to pop up and ask you to put in your Henderson Library's barcode number, which is on the back of your library card. Do so and hit enter. You'll be taken to the landing page of Mergent Intellect. Mergent Intellect is a powerful platform that allows you to access private and public U.S. and international business data, continuously updated news, executive contact information, industry profiles, and detailed consumer lifestyle and demographic data. One of the most popular features is creating company lists for sales leads, identifying your competitors, and supplier discovery. To get started, we're not going to work off of the search bar here. We're going to go down to the lower left where it says Advanced Search. Click on Advanced Search. This takes us to a page that's going to allow us to select criteria to build our company list. It's always going to default to the Company Criteria tab. We're going to actually hop over to Location under this tab to get started. Mergent Intellect allows you to narrow your location, your geographic area, as specific as you want. You'll see the different criteria options here for location. So for example, you can go by state, region. You could go by city, by county, MSA, Metropolitan Statistical Area. You could go by zip code, and you can actually put in up to 50 zip codes at a time. You can do a radius search. If you click on that, you're going to enter a zip code, and then you can just toggle this radius bar out that indicates how many miles of radius you want to choose. Another great feature is this home-based business option. So here you can actually pull up companies that is operating out of people's homes. For this search, we're going to narrow our geographic location to MSA, Metropolitan Statistical Area. When you click on that, you'll see the list of these areas. When you see a table like this in Mergent, you want to read it from left to right. I'm going to scroll down and select the Las Vegas area, Las Vegas, Nevada, Arizona, MSA, Metropolitan Statistical Area. I'm going to select that option, and then most important, I'm going to go down here and select Add to Criteria. Next, we're going to go back up to our Company Criteria tab, and we're going to hop over here to Industry. When you click on the Industry option, you're going to notice that there are 3 kinds of codes listed that you can search by. The first is the SIC code, then there's the NAICS code, and the HIC code. So we're going to talk about the SIC code and the NAICS code. The SIC code stands for Standard Industrial Classification System and was developed in the 1930s to classify industries in which companies operate. In 1997, SIC codes were further expanded to NAICS, and that stands for North American Industrial Classification System. What NAICS did, it offered more scope and flexibility for adding new industries and functions brought about by the continuous advancement of technology, such as software and telecom. We're going to go ahead for this search and use NAICS code. But even though SIC code has not been updated since 1987, it's still a very valued code, and I recommend actually searching both. So we're going to select NAICS code, and what we see as we go down here is we see something called a NAICS tree, and it's highlighted on NAICS tree right now. This allows you to browse by industry. So for example, if we're looking at agriculture, forestry, fishing, and hunting companies, we could click on this blue arrow to the left of it, and then we can continue narrowing as the results get more and more narrow and more refined. However, I think the more powerful function is to go over here to the NAICS keyword search option. What this does, it allows you to search the descriptions of the NAICS codes. So we're going to go down here to the search box and we're going to enter our first term. The companies that we're going to pull are going to be for my fictitious cat food, gourmet cat food, specialized gourmet cat food that I have developed a really great recipe for. I need to find manufacturers and co-manufacturers to produce my product. And then I also want to look at pet supplies, pet food supply stores to see if any of them will carry it. So we're going to go ahead and do our first search, and I'm just going to go ahead and start off by cat, see if there's anything under cat food. So I'm going to type in C-A-T, and you're going to notice when I type, it's going to autocomplete. So I'm picking up cattle ranching, but I'm going to go ahead at this point and hit the space bar, which is going to just give me the word cat. And I can see this code that says dog and cat food manufacturing. Perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and select that. When I do, that code is going to go right down here underneath the search bar. The next thing I'm going to search for is the pet supply company. So I'm going to type in PET, and that's auto-completing, and I'm getting petroleum, and I'm also getting carpet. So I'm going to do that space bar there again. And I'm getting pet and pet supply stores. That's perfect. I'm going to select that. You see those two codes are listed right here. I'm going to go ahead and add those to my criteria. When I do that, I have now a total of 297 companies, which is a really nice number to work with. If a lot of times when you search, you're going to get high numbers. So for example, you could get 5,000 companies. One of the ways you could narrow those results is actually go back up here to your company criteria tab and go to the right side of industry and hit size. Here you can select, for example, sales to search by sales. So I'm going to select sales, and then down here we can enter annual sales. And by doing this, I'm just going to put in 500,000. Don't put in commas, just numbers, no spaces. And then I'm going to select greater than or equal to and add to criteria. What that would do is then narrow that even more. I'm not going to do that though. I'm actually going to stick with this 297, and I'm going to hit search so we can now see the results, see the actual companies coming up. When we do this, the default sort is going to be by sales. So it's right over here, by highest sales and then in descending order. Up here on the right side are the different ways you can download the data, the information. I recommend doing the build files option, which is the icon that looks like stacked papers. We're going to go ahead and do all of our companies in that list. Now, we could do by range. So if we're going back to those 5,000 companies, Mergent Intellect allows you to download 2,000 at a time. So that's when you'll want to start selecting ranges. We're going to go back here to the icon and select Build Files. This takes us to this screen. There's two types of reports. There's going to be the one that says reports, and this basically is in PDF format. The table, which is highlighted, defaulted, is going to be in a spreadsheet format, and that lets you work with the data, and that's what I recommend. For select file format, you want comma separated. Select listing format, you want it horizontal. Over here for select file structure, you want to select choose fields. When you do that, you can see that unselects all of the boxes down here, allowing us to choose exactly what we want. So I'm going to say I'd like company name on my report, my spreadsheet. I'd like immediate parent name. I'd like to know the year of founding. That tells me how established the company is or how new. Maybe it's a startup. A company type's going to be private or public. It's going to tell me. The phone number would be helpful. And you can see there's all kinds of other things we could look at. There's also a web address option as well. For location, for the address information, I would select, okay, location type's going to tell us if it's a headquarters or a branch or a single entity. For the address, I would suggest selecting physical instead of your mailing options. So I would do physical address, physical city, physical state, and physical zip code. Industry, I want to see what that NAICS code is, and I also want to see the description. You can also narrow by size. So, I'm sorry, not narrow. We want to see the sales in our report. So we're going to go ahead and click on sales so we can see that sales number. We want to see the executive. So we want in this information, we want to see the company address. We want the first name of the executive. We'd like the gender because we don't know. Terry could be, a lot of names can be either male or female. We want last name, phone number, and then title's very important. The single top level executive, if we selected that, that's exactly what we would get is just the top person. We're going to enter the file name, and here you might want to be as specific as possible because if you pull a lot of these, you get confused, and this might help you understand exactly the data that that file has in. So, we could do CAT, manufacturing, supplies. We could do, it was an MSA location designation. We could even put in sales in there, just whatever you want to, but be descriptive. Click Build Files. The files, it's building right now. It's building our spreadsheet. When you see this Download Your File button, it means that it's ready to go. You can download it. Even though there is a message that says, please be patient, it's already done. So just go ahead and click on that. And then I'm going to go ahead and save it. And I'm going to pull it up. And hit yes if you get that message. And here is the file. You can see the company name. Again, the default is going to sort by sales. We got our company type, location type, our physical address, zip code, our NAICS, and then there's our sales. The executive tab is going to give you the company name. And then over here, you can see the first name, the last name, the gender, phone number, and the title. So this concludes our tutorial on how to make company lists. I hope it was helpful.